Law enforcement agencies across the country are intensifying efforts to identify individuals living in the United States illegally. Landscaping trucks, state troopers, and immigration agents are increasingly present, making driving a potential risk for deportation. Traffic stops are becoming a prominent tool for immigration enforcement. However, activists argue that such measures unfairly profile immigrants who are simply trying to make a living. Proponents, on the other hand, contend that enforcing traffic laws ensures public safety and reduces criminal activity. In one instance, a yellow Mustang was towed after its driver, who lacked a license or any form of identification, was detained. Border Patrol later discovered the driver had a deportation order. Scenes like this are not uncommon, as work trucks are often stopped for safety inspections, leading to questioning and detentions by ICE or Border Patrol agents. Critics say this disrupts communities, businesses, and places of worship, while supporters emphasize the importance of enforcing immigration laws. Advocates for stricter immigration policies highlight the effectiveness of traffic stops in catching offenders. They argue that such measures remove criminals and wanted fugitives from the streets while preventing potential dangers. Traffic stops often uncover illegal activities, from human smuggling to gang operations. Moreover, individuals driving recklessly, without proper documentation, pose significant public safety risks. Activists claim these practices unfairly target undocumented individuals, but law enforcement counters that they focus on safety violations and erratic behavior. Officers from programs like Operation Stone Garden work to enhance federal and local cooperation in border security. They emphasize that their primary goal is public safety, not profiling. The debate extends to commercial drivers, with President Trump's executive order requiring English proficiency for truck drivers reigniting controversy. Supporters argue that understanding traffic signs and communicating with authorities are crucial for road safety. However, opponents believe the policy could exacerbate driver shortages and disrupt the trucking industry. Stories of unsafe trucking practices underline the importance of enforcement. In 2019, a tragic crash involving a semi-truck with malfunctioning brakes highlighted the dangers of neglecting safety standards. The trucking company responsible had a history of violations, demonstrating the risks of cutting corners and hiring unqualified drivers. Law enforcement maintains that their focus is on enforcing existing laws. They argue that identifying and removing individuals who break multiple laws, such as entering the country illegally and driving without proper documentation, ultimately benefits society. Critics, however, fear that these practices unfairly target vulnerable populations and disrupt lives. The larger issue lies in the balance between enforcing immigration laws and ensuring public safety. Traffic stops, while effective, have become a flashpoint for broader debates about immigration policy and community impact. Supporters see them as necessary tools, while opponents view them as discriminatory. As this debate continues, it raises important questions about the role of local law enforcement in immigration enforcement. Should officers prioritize community trust or focus on collaboration with federal agencies? These complex issues require thoughtful consideration and dialogue. Ultimately, the conversation about immigration enforcement at traffic stops reflects deeper tensions within society. Balancing safety, fairness, and inclusivity remains a challenge as communities navigate the intersection of law, policy, and human rights.